Dub Nation, what's going on? We got a loaded show for you as you're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports, presented by Prize Picks. The Dubs went out there and made a roster move that went very under the radar. Haven't heard many people talk about it just yet. Also, one more signing to this roster that could be coming very soon. And then the latest on Steph and Brandon Pajemski, who have extensions that could be looming. All that and more in just a moment, but go down below and hit that thumbs up icon before we get started. Like this video if you still believe in Steph, if you still believe in the Golden State Warriors to go out there and have a solid season in 2026-2027. So the roster move that was made by Golden State came in this morning as Arian, the Ari report, go out there and says the Golden State Warriors are signing Summer League standout Deivon Smith to a deal according to his agent Billy Davis. And I guess Billy Davis, his agent, fed the info to the Consensus NBA or whatever outlet that Ari is working for here. Beats me. I mean, he didn't take it to Michael Scotto or anything like that, who we see a lot of these Summer League deals get announced by. Smith played a key part in helping Golden State capture the Summer League championship and impress team officials throughout the run, specifically in that title game where he went off. Off the bench, Deivon Smith went out there and scored 21 points on 9 of 14 from the field, wasn't turning the ball over, he had good command of the offense, and I thought he did a pretty good job just getting up and down the floor here. And this guy is no stranger to Golden State Warriors hoops. As a matter of fact, he was picked up late in the G League season last year, and he played 9 games in Santa Cruz. Goes out there, averages 17 points per game, 6 boards, 6.5 assists as well, which I think is incredibly impressive. 45% from the field and 38% from long range. This is a guy who played his college days at Mississippi State and then most recently St. John's. And I watched him a handful in college. He has good command on the basketball court. I think he's a solid decision maker. Doesn't turn the ball over too much. He doesn't make silly decisions in terms of fouls or just live ball turnovers or anything like that. I respect the move by Golden State, man, because the Warriors just need more ball handlers at the end of the day. They need more players who can dribble, shoot, pass, and do all those things simultaneously. They don't have enough of those guys on the roster as it currently stands. They bring in a guy in Deivon Smith for what likely is going to be a training camp deal. He hasn't been agreed to on a two-way contract or anything like that just yet. The Golden State Warriors have two two-way players as it currently stands with one open slot remaining. Lajae Cryer, we know, is out there playing guard. He had some good days for Golden State in late season last year and obviously played with them throughout the summers and did a lot of his time in Santa Cruz. So did Lajae Jones. I don't know. I'm just not too enthusiastic about him as a player on this team. I watched him play. It looks like a deer, running headlights out there. Not exactly super inspiring. I would go out there and maybe take a couple other players that are in the running for that final spot and maybe replace Cryer and or Lajae Jones here, because who could take spot 3? There's a couple of names out there now. You just go out there and sign Deivon Smith. You have Graham Ike, who played a pretty pivotal role on that Summer League championship team as well, and Lajae Jones, your second-round pick in the NBA draft. He still remains unsigned at this point, and I think he has a little bit more upside than both Leons and Lajae Cryer, if you ask me, but Golden State Warriors are going to have to come to that decision themselves here over the next few weeks before training camp begins. Pick one to sign down below. If it's Lajae Jones, drop an LJ. If it's Deivon Smith, drop a DS. And if it's Graham EK, drop a GK. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments of who you would give that final two-way slot to. Coming up next, we got another move that could be on the horizon for Golden State, and then the latest on Steph and Brandon Pajemski. That in just a moment. First, a word from our sponsor over at Prize Picks, America's #1 app for sports picks. You just pick more or less on a few player stats, lock in a lineup, and you can win real money while watching your favorite sports. I've been playing it during the football preseason. I'm going to be playing it during the regular season. I'm also going to be playing it a ton when basketball returns as well, mixing and matching all these different sports and stat types that they offer on Prize Picks. They also have a team picks feature now where you can pick game winners, spreads, and totals on the app as well. They also have a social feeds feature where you can see all these picks that are being made by everybody. Share your Prize Picks lineups with your friends. Copy their lineups into your own with just a single click. You can even follow me on the app, at Tyler J. Smith, and see some of my lineups, including this one for the W action we got going on today. I got Salon, more than 1.5 assists. It's a demon pick. Tiffany Hayes, more than 3.5 rebounds. Another demon pick there. And Angel Reese, more than 11.5 rebounds. That's a goblin pick, which is easier to hit, but decreases the payout. You can take our picks or fade them. Just do it at Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use the code HMA, and if you win your first $5 lineup, you're getting $150 in bonus lineups instantly. That's code HMA. You play your first $5 lineup, and if it wins, you get $150 in bonus lineups instantly with Prize Picks. The link to download the app is clickable in the comments section and description of today's video. So that next move for Golden State here, as they still have a couple spots open on the roster, is Dalen Terry, apparently. Former Bull, former 76er Dalen Terry, he was seen sitting with Steph and Cannon at a Golden State Valkyries game. Yeah, the picture's right here. Free agent wing Dalen Terry spotted next to Steph Curry. Also, I think GP2 was at the game as well down there in the Bay Area watching the Valkyries play. Shout out to the Valkyries, having a pretty good season in their inaugural year in the WNBA over there. But, yeah, man, Steph and Dalen Terry, I can't believe we have to do like a recruiting pitch to Dalen Terry. Remember, Jake Fisher did say that there was interest out there. He said, I did hear that Dalen Terry is someone on the Warriors' radar for a training camp invite. Dalen Terry was on a non-guaranteed deal with Philadelphia, and he did not make sense or did not make the roster crunch with the Sixers after they had to make some space for LeBron James and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense that Dalen Terry didn't make it through the roster crunch of LeBron James and KCP. I would like somebody like LeBron on the Golden State Warriors, but, we obviously didn't make that happen. So we're going to be the guys that get stuck with Dalen Terry at this point. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I just don't know what he's good at. If you could tell me in the comment section what Dalen Terry is good at in terms of basketball, I'd love to hear you, because he's inefficient, can't really shoot the basketball at a high clip, doesn't really rebound super well, like this doesn't pass the ball super well, doesn't do, maybe defense and athleticism is where Dalen Terry shines brightest. That's not enough for me to warrant a spot on this roster. But you guys let me know your thoughts down below. Should the Warriors sign Dalen Terry? S for sign, P for pass. I want to hear from you. Put the GM hat on down below, and let me know if this is a player that you're interested in. Now, there's other rumored interest that we've talked about on the channel before. Kelly Olynyk, Georges Niang. Again, not needle movers by any means, but Georges Niang's won a lot of games in his career. Kelly Olynyk's been a contributor on some winning basketball teams in the past as well. So they could be worth bringing in, I guess, in some capacity. Georges Niang didn't even play all last year, though, and Kelly Olynyk barely played as a member of the San Antonio Spurs. That's my whole kind of gripe with this. Could they find somebody who could actually go to on a weekly basis in the regular season? Maybe that is Georges Niang, but he plays absolutely no defense. So I don't know. It's the offseason from hell for Golden State. That's just where we're at this point. Let's talk about the Steph extension, though. Let's talk about the stuff in-house, because that's really like the most exciting things that are going on with the Warriors right now. Steph, you guys got to remember, it does become eligible for a 2-year, $136.7 million extension on Saturday. This upcoming Saturday, August 29th. Is he going to sign it? I'm not 100% sure. Brett Siegel did have this to say on the situation. Steph Curry is not going to be requesting a trade. We have that on extremely good authority from the Warriors that Steph Curry is staying there and wants to remain there his entire career. What the terms of a new extension look like for Curry will be completely up to him, as the Warriors are prepared to offer their star whatever he wants. If Steph wants the full 136.7, then he'll get that. If he wants to take a discount to help the team, Mike Dunleavy Jr. will have no problem with said deal. As we've been reporting on Clutch Points over the last few weeks, I'd expect Steph and the Warriors to get a new deal done before camp begins. And camp begins in early September here. So it's going to be happening over the next 2 weeks or so. Bless Steph's soul, man, because he's a better man than I wouldn't allow for this nonsense to go on and me to keep feeding into it like he is in Golden State. Like, he's torturing himself. They're not putting competent rosters around him. And look, I don't have the most energy to even get into this today, because we've got into it over 100 times on the channel. I'd say over 200 videos we've talked about the fact that Joe Lacob, this front office, the leadership of the Golden State Warriors has been completely incompetent over the last really 7 years of Steph Curry's career. Ever since KD left, they've been completely incompetent. They got lucky in 2022, and it's been a disaster ever since. So Steph is torturing himself by staying in the situation where he has to carry all this weight, carry all this burden to prop Golden State up to be a playoff team at this point. Like, you're missing 2 of your top 7 rotation players to start the season next year, all the way until probably December plus. I just don't get it. I just don't get why he wants to be so loyal to this situation, because for the guys who have experienced that, like Dirk Nowitzki, like a Kobe Bryant, like a Tim Duncan, like those guys, and even Duncan's case, like the Spurs are still pretty good, but like those guys were all washed at the end of their careers. Steph's still playing like a top 7 player in this league, so I just don't get why he feels a need to stay with this organization. Maybe he's content with the 4 rings that he's won, and that's all right with him. Just staying competitive the rest of the way is all he cares about. But I do think it's just not the right decision whatsoever. Let's talk about Pods, though, because his extension's coming up as well. Pods is currently extension eligible, so this could be happening any day. I mean, by the time we're recording, this could be happening. Mike Dunleavy said this on Pods. When he's on the court, we're a better team. So anytime you've got a guy like that, you want to be able to keep him around. Sure, completely makes sense. Look, I am in the favor of extending Brandon Podziemski. I mean, Mike Dunleavy's going so far as saying that he wants it done sooner rather than later. But the question is always with Pods, what kind of money is he going to command? He's a guy who's gotten marginally better over the last 3 years of his NBA career with more volume. He's gotten more opportunity, and he's made the most of it for the most part. He's one of the most important players on Golden State's roster that's healthy right now, I'll tell you that much. But I just can't see $25 million a year. Like that, whether you have the money to do it down the line or not, because the Warriors do have a lot of money open down the line. It still doesn't make it a good and sound financial decision to give Brandon Podziemski $25 million a year. Don't make the same mistake that the Denver Nuggets did with Christian Brown, because that looks like one of the worst contracts in the league at this point. $25 million should be a tradable contract, and they can't trade Christian Brown because nobody wants him. So don't make that same mistake with Pods, and we'll be all right. So that will do it for today's show. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/WarriorsTV, for the latest and greatest under Dubs all offseason long. We'll see you guys next time, and as always, let's go Dubs.